So, in the beginning of the story, we are shown that some North Korean soldiers capture a guard post of South Korea across the border and take South Korean soldiers captive. Then, the Alpha team of special forces is sent to rescue them. It was led by Captain Shijun, whose code name was Big Boss. Now, due to their rules, no one could fire first here. That is why Shijun and Daeung, who is the second main lead of the story, both keep their guns outside and come inside to talk. Shijun asks the North Korean captain on, "Why do people do this drama every year? There is no use of fighting for no reason, so you guys go back the way you came." The North Korean captain says, "We cannot go empty-handed. Let's go after a fight." So, a fight starts between the two, then Shijun defeats him easily, and the North Korean captain goes back with his team. Alpha team was sent only for special missions. In the meantime, they used to get some vacations. So, Shijun and Daeung were on their vacation, where both of them were bursting balloons with toy guns. They were there when there was a commotion outside because a boy was running away after stealing someone's scooter. Both of them come in front of the road with toy guns and shoot the boy, due to which he falls from the scooter. The scooter rider leaves with his scooter. Shurjin gives first aid to the boy and writes on his hand that there is a cho. Daeung calls the nearby hospital from where an ambulance comes and takes the boy. Both of them were sitting in a cafe and talking about the same boy when Shurjin gets a call from Myung-ju, who is Daeung's girlfriend. She is also in the army, but their love story is a bit complicated, and we will get to know about it later. Daeung refuses to pick up her call. Now Daeung notices that his phone is missing, then he realizes that the boy had taken it away when both of them were giving him first aid. Daeung says that he is in trouble now. Saying this, both of them leave for the hospital. Meanwhile, while he was being taken inside the hospital, his phone fell down. The nurse was taking him inside, but Monju calls on the phone. The nurse says that the person whose phone it is currently admitted in the hospital. Then we meet the female lead of the story, Dr. Moyen, who checks this boy and asks him to be admitted. Then a senior doctor calls Moyen. Seeing no one around, this boy named Gi Bum starts running away from here, but Moyen sees him running away and quickly goes and catches him and brings him back. Now Gibbon had to leave from here because he was having some problems, on which head Nance asks him to pay the examination fee. Hearing which Gibbon becomes silent, but asks him to go to the washroom and says that he will not run away, so he gives them Daeung's phone and leaves. Because they did not know that the phone belongs to someone else, Givmurum lets them go. Here Shurjin and Daeung reach the hospital, but then he runs away from Givmurum. Shurjin was calling on Daeung's phone, whose name was saved as Big Boss. Seeing this, Moyen thought that this boy must be from some gang. Shurjin keeps calling on Daeung's number. Listening to the ringtone, both of them come to Moyen. Due to so many calls, Moyen picks up the call. Seeing Shurjin, she asks, "Are you Big Boss?" Shurjin says yes, but how did you get this phone? Moyen says that the patient had given it to her. Are you all his family? Shurjin says no, but this phone is ours, that's why they. It turns out that he has run away again. Moyen thought that. These two are goons, so she asks them to be thrown out. The nurse throws them out, but Shurjin likes Moyen, so he starts making excuses to stay here. However, Daeung catches his lie and takes him out. To find Jibum, both of them go outside to find a voice from an alley and see that some people were beating Jibum. Both of them beat them up and save Jibum. Meanwhile, while looking for Daeung, Myung-ju reached the hospital, whom Moyen sees. From their conversation, we come to know that there was some conflict between these two during college time. Yeon-ju is an army doctor. Both of them met during internship where they had a conflict because of a boy, so even now both of them do not talk to each other properly. Here, Shurjin and Daeung and Kim Myung-ju come, then Shurjin calls Kim Myung-ju to talk with Daeung with the nurse. Then we come to know that the villain of their love story is Monju's dad, who is. The army general is not accepting their relationship because Daeung is a low-level soldier. So he has ordered Daeung to stay away from his daughter, which he is following. Due to this, Myung-ji is very angry with him. Here Moyen comes to check on Jibin. Seeing his condition, Moyen assumes that Shijun and Daeung have caused this condition of his. So she asks Jibin to tell the truth. He also tells her that they've saved me, but Moyen does not believe it. She asks the security to check the CCTV and call the police. Then Shijun comes to convince her and tells her that he had stolen our phone. That is why we came searching for him. Then now. Some people were beating her outside, that's why we saved her. Moon says she stole your phone and you saved her, saying that she was calling the police from the same phone. Shijun flips the phone and disconnects the call and tells her that I am a soldier and we are not from any gang. Big Boss is my code name. Moon says, how can I believe it? Shijun says, because you work in Korea's top hospital. You must be a graduate from AIMS, so you must know Youngju. She is a doctor from the military academy. We all are soldiers. We had a vacation for a few days, that's why we don't want to get into any trouble with the police. If you don't believe it, then ask her. She will be here. Saying this, he asks her to go with him to find Myungju. Here Myungju King was also a senior, so Daeong was talking to her respectfully like a senior, due to which Myunji was getting more angry and emotional. She asked him, why are you talking to me? Why are you not doing this? Is it because of my father? How long will you avoid me? Why don't you answer my calls and messages? But Daeong doesn't answer. Then Myungji orders him to stand in salute pose the whole night. Then Shijun arrives with Moon. Moon confirms their identity. Youngjo leaves, calling them runaway soldiers. But Moon asks Shijun to come with her to check the CCTV footage so that she can verify that they have given birth to a soldier. After seeing the CCTV footage, Moon gets very shocked and surprised because Shijun and Daeong had beaten so many people. She was quite impressed by Shijun's fighting skills. She says sorry for misunderstanding. Shijun says that if you felt bad, then treat me, because he was shot in the stomach and today because of the fight his stitches got open, so these wounds are there. Seeing this, Moon asks, how did you get this injury? Shijun makes an excuse that it was just like that. He got injured while doing groundwork, but after seeing the wound, Moyen understood that it was a bullet mark. Sir John tells her that he got shot during a battle in Normandy. That day it was raining bullets from the sky. Moyen jokingly says, so did you go to save Private Run? Mohim does the dressing and tells her to go to the army clinic for regular dressing. Sir John says, can't I come here every day? Moyen says, every day, or it will be enough if you come 3 or 4 days a week. Sir John says, will you treat me? Moyen says, I don't need a doctor for this. Sir John says, but I need a beautiful doctor, especially a beautiful doctor. Moyen says, if you want a beautiful doctor, then I am the best option, okay, then come tomorrow at 2 p.m. Shijun says, doctors are so busy, do you have a boyfriend? To this, Moyen says, soldiers are always on duty, do you have a girlfriend? Shijun says, then who will tell first? Now looking at both of them, it was clear that both of them are very much interested in each other. At night, Shijun was choosing a uniform to go to the hospital. Then Daeong says that he will also come with him tomorrow. Then the next day, Daeong pays all the hospital bills of Gi Bam because he was related to Jibin, because he motivates Jiwamaram to improve. Shijun was searching for Moyen when he sees him taking a very critical patient. Then he helps them in taking them to the ICU and waits for him outside. But the surgery takes a lot of time and Shijun had to return to his army camp on time. So he leaves without meeting Moyen. Then in the evening for the operation. Later, when Moyen came to know that Shijun had come, she calls him and Shijun starts flirting and asks her if he had saved my number. Moyen says yes, and now you should also do it. Shijun says, then I will come and meet you tomorrow. Moyen says, do you always talk so directly? Shijun teases her a bit. While doing this, he says that I was talking about coming for my treatment, what did you think? Moyen says, I also meant the same thing, by the way, at what time will you be free tomorrow? Sheen says, forget about tomorrow, can we meet right now? Moyen says yes to him because she also wanted to meet him. Both get ready very happily. Sheen reaches the hospital and books movie tickets and was waiting for Moyen to come downstairs, but then he gets a call from his chief who calls him to go on a mission with his alpha team, so he goes to the terrace of the hospital. Moyen calls him and asks where he is. Shri tells her that he is on the terrace of the hospital right now. Mohin comes upstairs. Sheen says sorry to her. Suddenly, I have to go for an important work, then a helicopter arrives here to take Shurjeen. Mohin says, has any war broken out that a helicopter has come to take you? He says yes, but not in Korea. I will tell you everything later, but will you promise me one thing next week? Mohin says let's meet, but what will happen to your treatment? Sheen says, "Don't worry, I will come back safely, so next week we will go on a movie date." Moyne was not able to understand the situation right now. Sheen says, "I don't have time, so answer." Mohin says, "Okay." Sheen says, "Then it's a date, we will meet next week." Saying this, he goes towards the helicopter. Both of them are a bit upset, but duty comes first. So Sheen reaches Afghanistan with his Alpha team, where the US. They had a joint mission with the army to rescue some hostesses. It takes a few days of planning and training, and finally Shijun's team rescues those hostesses. After completing all the formalities, Shijun leaves to return to Korea. Meanwhile, this week was very busy for Moon. The week comes, and finally today she was going to meet Shijun, so she comes out of the hospital wearing her casual clothes, but then she starts hiding her face on seeing Shijun in front of her because she had not put on makeup. She was asking Shijun, "Why did you come so early? We were going to meet in the evening." Shijun says, "I was not waiting to meet you, but why are you hiding your face from me? You look very beautiful, even like this." Then Shijun comes to drop her home. Moon goes to wash her hair. Till then she asks him to order something to eat. So after sitting together and eating, both of them go on their movie date, but the movie has just started. It happened that Shurjan again gets a call from his chief, and he is asked to come right away, so he again has to say sorry to Moyen. This again makes Moyen feel bad. Shurjan says that we will come and watch the movie some other day, but Mana says, "No, you go, I will watch the movie alone." Then again both of them are very sad. After Shurjan leaves, Moyen gets a call from the hospital because in her place the daughter of a rich father was made a professor, for which she had been trying for 3 years. Because Moyen was capable of it, but here also nepotism was going on. The first time a minister's son took her place, the second time the hospital director's nephew, and this time the daughter of a big shareholder was made a professor. Even though she has not done a single operation successfully, but on hearing all this her senior scolds her. This makes Moyen very sad and she cries a lot. Here when Alpha Tom returns after completing the mission, General Unikar scolds them. They tell that all of you will be sent on a vacation for 8 months to a place called Uruk, where as an ordinary soldier you all have to do your duties. So before going there they are given a leave of 2 weeks. Sheen comes to the hospital to meet Moyen, where he sees Moyen on TV because Moyen was sent for an interview in place of that new professor. So Sheen waits for him to come back. In the evening both of them meet and both come to the cafe. Sheen says sorry for leaving her alone again that day. Moyen says, "I don't want your sorry." "So where did you go this time on a mission?" Sheen says, "Not very far, but I can't tell you about it in much detail." Because of the army rules now, Moyen was already sad about the post of professor. "If I could not get it, I would tell him that I was a little upset with my life. Then suddenly you met me, but on our first date you left me, and then on the second date too. But I was thinking where you must have gone, but now you are saying that you cannot even tell me about this. In the first meeting itself you lied to me that you got injured while doing groundwork, and that was a gunshot mark, meaning you have also fired at someone. In your work either you kill someone or someone will kill you, but I spend more than 12 hours every day in the operating room saving the lives of dying people, but in your fight people die." Shurjan says that I am a soldier and a soldier follows commands. No matter what happens we have to fight to protect our country. I have lost 3 of my friends in military missions. Still, do you know why I do this work? Because someone has to do this work. Peace and harmony is maintained in this country because of my work. Moyen says, "But for me everyone's life is equal, everyone has a right to live, so due to their professional beliefs their relationship breaks before it can even happen." So Moyen says goodbye to him and leaves, which upsets Shurjan a lot. So their holidays end and Alpha Team is sent to Uruk yes duty. Some months pass by and we see that Gi Bum also joined the army with them. Meanwhile, Moyen finally became a professor because after that interview she became very popular and now she only sees VIP patients. But she still misses Shijun because she had started liking him, and because of all that was going on in her professional life that day she scolded Shijun so much, which she regrets now. Shijun was also in the same condition. I was missing her. Here in the hospital there was a discussion that a medical team would be sent to Uruk because a power plant of Song Group was being built there, and their hospital also belonged to Song Group, so they were going to send some doctors for a medical camp in Uruk. Then the hospital chairman invites Moyen for dinner tonight. For this he tells her that it is a hotel launch and brings her to his room. Moyen understands his intentions, so she pulls the chairman and picks up her bag and hits him. The next day she gets tense that the chairman might fire her from the hospital. Her friend says that you are the star of our hospital, the chairman will not do the stupidity of firing you. But the chairman makes Moyen the team leader and asks him to lead the medical team that is stopping. Moyen understands that he has done this to take revenge. The medical team gets ready. Meanwhile, Shurjin also comes to know that Moyen is coming here. Since Shurjin's team was responsible for the stay and protection of the medical team in Uruk, Moyen and his medical team were waiting in the Uruk airport in the scorching heat and were wondering who was going to take them. When the chairman's call comes on the phone of Docter Sang of their team, who asks him to give the phone to Moyen. Then he tells Moyen that if you think about us again, then I can call you back. But Moyen scolds him in front of everyone and says that after going back, first of all I will throw the resignation letter on your face because I am going to open my own hospital. Now they all see a military helicopter coming. Shurjin and his team come out of it and come towards them. Moni is surprised to see Shurjin here because she had not thought that they would meet again. Moyen's scarf fell a little distance away due to the wind. Shurjin picks it up and returns it, and both of them just keep looking at each other. None of them says anything. Everyone is taken to their place of residence where the soldiers welcome them. Then they take them to their tents, and on seeing GIBOM here, Mon and everyone else are quite surprised and are very happy for him. Mon was just looking at this place. When there is some problem with her shoe, she picks it up and starts looking at it. Then Shurjin passes by her side without looking at her. Mon says, "Did he really not see me, or is he ignoring me?" But Shurjin went inside and was looking at her in the mirror and was thinking how to talk to her again. Then she sees some local children eating something, so she throws it away and gives them a chocolate to eat. Seeing this, other children also come to her to ask for chocolates, but Moyen was not able to understand their language. Then Shurjin goes and drives those children away from here. He tells Moyen that the fans are not allowed to come this time. Moyen says that you have also come. Saying this, she started to leave. She went some distance when Shurjin says that don't move, you have stepped on a landmine. Moyen gets very scared and asks to call someone for help. Shurjin comes to her and says that I am stepping on your place, you move aside. Saying this, he moves her foot and stands in her place. Moyen says that if it explodes, then what about us? Shurjin says that nothing will happen to you, I will die. Mohin says that why did you die for me? You go and call someone. I will stand here. Saying this, she gets very scared and asks to call someone. Shurjin starts falling down due to her push. Due to which Moyen also falls on him. She screams and cries that why this landmine did not explode. Seeing Shurjin smiling, she gets up in anger and says that you have fooled me again. Shurjin says I was just joking. You know I joke a bit too much, but Moyen angrily says don't talk to me and goes away. Meanwhile, De Jong gets a parcel from Manju. In this, she had sent a letter that she is coming here. Then we are shown Manju talking to General Yen, who was Manju's father, and he was not at all happy with her decision of going to Uruk. He directly tells Manju that no matter what you do, I will never accept De Jong as my son-in-law. Captain Shurjin is very good for you. He will soon become a general, so Shurjin will become my son-in-law. Yonga says, but if you stop me from going there, then you will lose your only daughter too. Saying this, she leaves. Here Moyen was still roaming around in anger and Shurjin kept following her to convince her. Then after he repeatedly said sorry, Moyen finally agrees. Then their national flag was hoisted. Then all the soldiers saluted looking at the flag. Then Shurjin turns Emo towards him and tells her that it was very good to meet you again. From the next day morning Moyen, and when Nurse Lab's medical checkup takes place, Moyen first calls Shurjin for blood donation and makes fun of him by scaring him before he gets injected with a syringe. But then they hear a loud noise from outside. Shurjin comes to know that a UN truck has fallen down from a hilly road. It was carrying medicines, but when they check, they find out that guns were being smuggled in the name of the UN truck. So Shurjin calls the local police and hands over this man. To report this, Shurjin goes to their village in Uruk. When Shurjin was about to go to the army headquarters, she asked De Jong about the internet cafe. De Jong told her that Captain Shurjin was going to the headquarters and he could drop her at the internet cafe in the nearby city. Then Mohan went with Shurjin. While going, she saw a signboard of an island and asked Shurjan about that place. Shurjan told her that the place was very far away. Then both of them reached the internet cafe while asking each other about their well-being. The shop was of Dr. Daniel and his wife. Shurjan asked her to stay here and went to his headquarters, where the chief asked him to stay away from illegal businesses here, especially from the gangsters here. Then we see that the man whom they handed over to the police themselves take him to their boss, from which we come to know that the police is also involved with them. The boss of this gang was named Argus, who was the biggest Don type here. Meanwhile, Daeong was called back to Korea by Monju's dad. He had got this done because Young also came to know that Monju was coming here. So while returning, he looked very upset. Moyen asks him the reason. Then Shurjan tells her that Daeong has been called back to Korea. Moon says, "Are you jealous that he got to go back to Korea first?" Shin says, "No, I am angry that this is a personal issue. Yuju is coming here, that is why her dad got Daeong transferred to Korea." Mohin asks him how did their love story start. Then the flashback begins. Manj and Daeong met during a training. Daeong was trying to finish his training quickly because it was his ex-girlfriend's wedding today. Yuju says, "You should take care of yourself a bit too. Do you want to finish your training so quickly and go to your ex's wedding?" But Daeong ignored her. When he was about to go to the wedding in his car, Mang-ji also came in his car, changed her dress, and told him that if you go with me to the wedding, then your ex will definitely regret accompanying both of us. But in return for this help, you have to act as my boyfriend because my dad wants to set me up with your Captain Shijun, but I don't want that. I don't like it at all. Coming back to the present, Shijun brings Moyen to the seaside. Moyen says, "So you are Monju's future groom. And by the way, where are we going?" Shijun says, "You asked me about that island." She says, "No, you told me that he is very far away." Shurjan says that this way I will be able to spend some more time with you. Moyen says, "I don't want to go." Shurjan asks if you want to know more about their love story or else. Moyen agrees. Then both of them reach the silo, which Moyen likes very much. Shurjan says that we will come here again. He picks up a stone and tells her that people believe that people who come here and take stones from here come back together. Moyen says that if this were true, then no stone would be left here. Shurjan says that all the people who took stones from here had come back and kept the stones here. Moyen likes this thing very much. Shurjan gives her the same stone which Moyen keeps with herself. After roaming around the place for some time, both of them come back where they come to know that the president of Arab League is going to make an emergency landing here because he had some health issue. So full security is tightened here and the president is immediately taken to the hospital. He is brought to the medical camp from where Emo checks him and tells him that he will have to undergo surgery urgently, so she asks to prepare the ICU. But his security team stops her and says that only 1 billion doctors can operate on the president and his doctor will reach here in an hour. She says that if he is not operated upon right now, he will not survive for half an hour, but the security does not listen to her and points a gun at her. The chief asks her to tell him the situation there and tells her not to interfere in their affairs and to do as his security wants. If the president dies, the blame will be put on the doctors, so you should not do anything. Now this does not seem right to Shurjan at all, so he asks Moyen if you can save him. Moyen says yes, if we operate now. Then Shurjan and his team point the gun at the president's security and Moyen and the doctor ask them to start the surgery, and they go in front of the security with their team and stand pointing the gun. Now the chief commander and all the top officials come to know about this incident that they were worried, because if something happens to the president here, it can be a big problem. But Shurjan and the rest of the doctors together complete his surgery and the president's condition was stable now. After an hour, his official doctor arrives who checks his condition and everything was fine, due to which Moyen and the team also breathe a sigh of relief. But Shurjan is punished for not following the orders and is kept locked in a storage room for 24 hours. Their chief comes and scolds Shurjan a lot and asks him to be ready for discipline reaction. When Mana came to know about Shijun's punishment, she felt very bad and came running to the chief to explain that it was not Shijun's fault. I myself said yes to the surgery. The chief says that you do not know about the army rules, so do not read into it. You will not even imagine how big a punishment Shurjan can get for the mistake he has committed. Hearing this, Moan feels even worse. She comes out of the storage room to talk to Shurjan. She cries a lot thinking about him. To lighten the mood, Shurjan says, "Are you worried about me? You are crying for me. I wish I could see this." She says, "Yes, I am worried about you. So stop joking and take care of yourself." Saying this, she passes him a musket call. He says, "This is what I needed. Thank you. You brought this." There were many musket calls in the storage room, so now stop worrying about me and go and take rest. Saying this, he wishes her good night. The next day, the president regains consciousness. He is taken back. Finally, everyone's tension is relieved. Here, Daeyoung has to go to his army base from where he was about to leave for Korea. Monju comes down from the plane in front of him. Seeing Daeyoung leaving, she becomes very sad. She gets angry and scolds him, asking why he is going. "You came here for me and you were leaving without telling me." Daeyoung says, "I am just following the orders." Yang stops him by holding his hand. Daeyoung pulls her towards him and hugs her and asks her to take care of herself and leaves, due to which both of them are very sad. After all, both of them love each other very much. Here their flashback is shown. Monju had reached her ex's wedding with Daeyoung. While Monju makes her ex feel completely jealous by showing her chemistry with Daeyoung, Daeyoung wishes him good luck for his marriage and then comes back with Monju. After this, they started meeting regularly. They fell in love while spending time together. One day, Monju's dad found out about them and came between their relationship. The next day, there was an order to take Shurjan out of the storage room, so Moyen rushes to meet him. They talk and resolve their grievances. Then, they both get an invitation from the president of the Arab League. They go to meet him. The president thanks Moyen for saving his life and cuts his card. On asking about it, the security tells them that wherever they are, in any trouble or whatever they want, they can do whatever they want with this card. She says, "We are two people, so it would have been better if we got two cards." The president gives them two cards. Coming out, Moyen says, "Maybe this is a pass?" Sheen says, "Let me check it." Showing the card to the security, he says, "I want to take your car for a day." The security gives them the car, but Moyen is very angry because he could have asked for anything with this card. Shurjan says, "But this is enough for me. I have 2.5 hours of free time, so we are going on a date." They reach the cafe for their date. There was a quarrel going on between them. Then Sheen gets a call. Sheen says, "I have to go." Moyen says, "Why does this problem happen only with dates? Whether it is Korea or here, our dates always get spoiled. So this time you can't even tell me where you have to go, but this time I want to come with you." Shurjan says, "There is no mission and there will be no problem in coming with you." So Shrijin brings her with him for the memorial ceremony of one of his teammates who died during a mission. From here, they both return. The next day, Mohin comes to know that Shurjan has been called to the headquarters because disciplinary action will be taken against him. Hearing this, Man takes a card and goes to their headquarters. As a punishment, Shijin's 3 months' salary is cut, and his promotion, which was about to happen, is stopped. After some time, Moyen reaches there. Shurjan sees her going to the chief's tent, so he quickly goes to bring her out. By then, Moyen had started scolding the chief a lot. She was explaining that Shurjan had no fault in this and punishment should not be given. Then Shurjan comes and says sorry to the chief and takes Mohin with him. After getting down from the car in an empty place, he scolds Mohin, saying, "It was not your fault. There are some army rules which I had broken that day, so action will be taken against me. You do not need to worry about it." On hearing this, Mohin angrily drives away alone. Shurjan returns in the evening in a car and takes out a bottle of wine hidden in the kitchen. Then Mohin goes there to give it to him. Seeing this, she starts going back. Then Shurjan stops her. Moyen says, "Maybe I am disturbing you." He replies, "There is nothing like that, I like it when you are with me." Mohin comes to drink water. Shurjan offers her wine. Moyen starts drinking, and then both say sorry to each other. Moyen offers him a drink again. Shurjan says, "I am not allowed. And now there is a witness too. But do you like wine?" Mohin replies, "Yes, That day after the movie, I wanted to go with you to drink wine. Shurjin asks, did you see that movie? Moin says, no, because I wanted to watch that movie with you. But every day, articles used to come in praise of that movie, after watching which I used to remember you and miss you a lot. Then she offers him wine and says, don't be shy, you can drink in front of me. Shaman says, I have a way, and he comes to her and kisses her. Moin feels shy and leaves. The next day, Moin and the team go to Uruk to join the group being formed there. She goes to do a medical checkup of all the laborers and staff working in the solar power plant. There, she meets the general manager of the project, Mr. Jean, who was very arrogant. The rest of the workers and laborers were very good. One of them was the leader of the laborers, Mr. Moyen. Moyen had to go to the city again for some work, so Shurjan went to drop her. Moyen was still very embarrassed, thinking about last night's kiss. Shurjan said sorry to her. Meanwhile, in Curia, Maju's informer used to tell Manju about De Yong's entire day's schedule, but today, De Yong saw him doing this, so he scolded him a little. Shurjan and Mayhan had just come out after eating in a restaurant when Shurjan saw the same mafia member whom he had got arrested by the local police here. Daniel had a shop in Kasi, so he asked Moyen to go there and asked Daniel to take a car and return to their camp. After Moyen leaves, he comes to him with a gun. Those gang members also point a gun at him. Shurjan warns them and fires a bullet in the air. The sound is heard by Moyen too. Moyen asks Daniel about it. Daniel says, don't worry, all this is common here. The husband will take care of the rest. You can take the car. Saying this, he sends her towards their camp. Arg comes out of the shop after hearing the gunshot. Shurjan is shocked to see this because Argus was earlier in the U.S. Army, and they had worked together on many joint missions, due to which they had become good friends. During one joint mission, Shijin Sr. died while saving Argus. Coming back to the present, Shurjan asks him, what are you doing here? Argus tells him, I am the mafia boss here. Anyway, there was no special income in the army. That's why I started this work in which there is a lot of money. By the way, all this is mine. Shurjan warns him as they are men and don't need to do anything. Moyen was worried about Shurjan coming in front of him again. In this process, she gets distracted from the road and her car starts going towards the ditch. Luckily, the car stops at the endpoint, but the car could fall into the ditch at any time. Moyen gets very scared and nervously calls Shurjan, telling him about the situation. Shurjan was on the way, and he starts coming towards the side at full speed. The car was tilting very much downwards. Moyen, out of fear, records an audio message for her mom and Shurjan, closes her eyes, and starts praying. By then, Shurjan reaches there and gets inside the car from the back door. He could not reverse the car, so he encourages Moyen. He lifts her hand and asks her to look into his eyes, then opens the airbags and drops the car, thus saving both of them. He takes Moyen out of the water and brings her to her senses. Moyen was very scared and starts scolding him for dropping the car in such water. Shun teases her and says, it seems I cannot leave you alone anywhere, otherwise, I don't know what trouble you will get into next time. Then both of them come back. Shun makes her wear his coat because her clothes were wet. Then we come to know that the manager of the power plant, Mr. Jean, works for Argus and smuggles diamonds for them. Shurjan was going to return to Korea tomorrow, which Moyen finds out last, and that is why she gets very angry with Shurjan. Shun says sorry to her. Moyen says, I agree that I am attracted to you, but your work is very dangerous, which I don't like. I like meeting you, but the very next moment you leave me and go away. I can't ask you anything about this, and you can't even tell me. I want both of us to spend some more time together so that we can know each other well and decide whether we should get into a relationship or not. But you're leaving again. Shijun again has no answer for this. So he just tells her to take care of herself. The next day, he goes back to Korea without meeting Moyen, which makes Moyen even more angry. Shijun came back because it was his dad's retirement. He had a lot of time, so he also meets Daeong. Daeong was stopping himself from talking to Manju, but finally, he picks up her call and just listens to Manju. Manju is very happy with this. But here, Shijun and Moyen were both missing each other. When Manju meets Moyen, there is some bickering between them. So he teases Moyen a little to trouble her. She calls Shurjin and tells her to get ready to become her dad's son-in-law. Dayong is throwing too many tantrums, that's why I am thinking of marrying him. Hearing this, Moyen gets angry. On hearing this, Shurjin smiles and cuts the call. The work in Uruk was over, so Moyen's team was going to return to Korea today. Everyone clicks a group photo, and then they leave for the airport in 2 teams. In the first team, Moyen, Docter's son, and some of his teammates leave for the airport. After they leave, a very dangerous earthquake hits many areas of Uruk. The earthquake has the worst effect on the power plant of the Haesang group. On getting to know about it, Moyen and his team return from the airport to help the people there, and the rescue work begins. Upon hearing about the earthquake, all the family members of the doctors get very worried and efforts are made to contact them. To help in the rescue work, the best soldiers from Korea are sent, led by Shurjin and Dayong. Many people are trapped inside the power plant, so their rescue mission begins. They rescue many people, and till now, 15 people have died. The team of doctors is trying to save their lives and treat the injured. Shurjin and Dayong have to choose after saving Moyen and Manju. Then Shurjin instructs his soldiers and asks everyone to work carefully. Shurjin ties the laces of Moyen's shoes and asks her to take care of herself. Then everyone gets busy with their work. By morning, they had rescued the maximum number of people, but still, some people were buried under heavy debris. The soldiers are trying to take them out, but then Mr. Jean comes and rudely says, "We will have to dig this place because my locker is stuck under them, inside which there are very important documents." In reality, he had hidden diamonds in that locker, and if he does not give them to Arcus by tonight, then Arcus will kill him. For disturbing their work, Dayong drives him away. 2 people were buried under the debris, one of whom was the leader of the laborers, Mr. Ko, and another laborer, in whose chest a rod had entered. Shurjan reaches there, clearing the way with Mohan, and they come to know that their situation is very bad. Only one of them can survive. They ask Mr. Ko to save that laborer because his children are still very young, whereas Mr. Ko's children are well settled. This scene was very sad. Moyen and Shurjan agree to his words, and that laborer is saved, but due to this, Mr. Ko dies. Soldiers get back to work after having dinner and taking some rest. Myungjo and Devon's relationship improves due to concern for each other, but Moyen is very sad because yesterday there was so much activity here. Everyone was so happy, but in a single day, so many people lost their lives, which makes Moyen very sad. Shurjin comforts her. Then Mohan sees the injury on Shurjin's shoulder and treats it. Shurjin says sorry to her for leaving without informing her that day and says, "I missed you a lot." Moyen says, "I also missed you." Here, Argus starts beating up Mr. Jean because he did not bring the diamonds and asks Mr. Jean for time till tomorrow. The next day, Shurjin and the team come to know about another man who is buried under the debris. So these people work hard and make a way in which Shurjin goes inside to bring that man out. But then Mr. Jean starts removing the debris from the other side with a JCB. Due to its pressure, the roof above Shurjan starts breaking. On knowing about this, Daeong with his soldiers, Mr. Jean sends his friend and asks him to drag Young out. A debris was about to fall on the man trapped inside, and Shanjan covers him. In the process, Shanjan gets hurt. Hearing no reply from Shanjan, everyone worries for him. Daeong makes a way and goes inside. Moyen runs to the spot, but Daeong brings Shanjan and the man out safely. Mr. Jean comes and says, "You saw that nothing happened to anyone." Hearing this, Daeong angrily pulls him and gives him 2 reports, asking him to stay away. Then Shanjan and the man are admitted. Moyen sits next to Shanjan and forbids him from getting up from the bed. Their chief comes to take the report. Mr. Jean complains to the chief, "One of your soldiers raised his hand on me." The chief replies, "If anything had happened to anyone because of what you did, think about the punishment you would have got for that. That's why my soldier slapped a civilian." For this, the chief punishes these 3 by making them run a few rounds. Moyen and her team had received the order to return, so Moyen gives some medicines to Shahjan. She timely asks him to eat and tells him that her name is also on the list of those going to Korea. However, she holds a meeting with her team, including Moyen, Dr. Song, the head nurse, and some other doctors. They decide to stay because the patients here needed them, while some other people prepare to go back. In the evening, everyone gathers to pay tribute to the dead. Daniel also stayed to help, fixing the broadcasting device. Then Mohinath takes out his phone to lighten the mood for everyone. After connecting, Moyen starts playing a light-hearted song. She sings the song while checking on the patients. After the song ends, Moyen's voice recording starts playing, which she had recorded while hanging on the top of the god, in which she had expressed her feelings for Shurjan. Shurjan, who had reached the broadcasting room, smiles after listening to Moyen's confession. Moyen reaches there in no time and starts running away with her phone, but Shurjan comes in front of her from the window and says, "Now you have accepted that you also like me." Moyen makes excuses, saying, "It was not my voice." Shurjan starts teasing her even more and says, "Now you cannot run away from me." Moyen is quite embarrassed and starts teasing him back. The next morning, Moyen is watching the soldiers jogging when Hayden jokingly tells her that Shurjan is coming this way. On hearing this, Moyen starts running away. She stops outside a storage room, but Shurjan is watching her from the window of the same room. Seeing her, she starts running away again, but Shurjan calls out and asks, "How long will you keep running away from me? Have you lost your feelings for me?" Shurjan continues, "I like you more than this, but I don't run away from you, so don't avoid me." Both of them have to go to a meeting, but on the way, their car gets stuck in the mines. They mark the mine area with a red flag and take a lift from a truck to go back, where they talk a lot. Shurjan asks, "Is your name also on the list of people going to Korea?" Moyen says, "No, I am not going." Shurjan asks, "Why?" Moyen replies, "I am not going because of you. I don't want to run away from you anymore. I want to spend some more time with you." Shurjan kisses her, and this time, Moyen does not stop herself, and their kiss continues. Meanwhile, Mr. Jean takes out the locker containing the diamonds because its lock is broken. He gives the locker to Argus people and goes away. When they break open the locker after a while, they find it empty because Mr. Jean had taken out the diamonds and broken the lock to escape with the diamonds. Yesterday, one of the doctors in the team who were going back had given his place to Mr. Jean because he was creating a lot of ruckus to go back to Korea. So, he sits in the bus with the doctors and leaves for the airport. At the airport, we come to know that he had swallowed the diamonds, but Argus's men had reached the airport, so Mr. Jean is not able to enter the airport. He escapes from them and leaves the airport. General Yoon reaches Uruk, thanks his soldiers, and praises them for handling the situation here. Then he calls Shurjan, Moon, Manju, and Dang to his cabin for a talk where he praises Moon for saving the life of the Arab League president and for staying to help the soldiers. He then asks Moyen to wait outside and directly asks Shurjan whether he likes Manju or not. Shurjan clearly tells him that they both do not like each other romantically, they are just friends. When the general asks him to go out as well, De-young holds Manju's hand and this time, without any fear, tells him that he loves Manju very much and wants to marry her. Manju also says the same. Then General Yoon asks Manju to go out as well and tells De-young that he will accept their relationship, but on one condition. De-young will have to leave the army because he will never get his daughter married to a soldier of the rank of sergeant. The condition is that De-young will have to leave the army and join General Yoon's family business. This time, De-young does not back down and agrees to stay with Manju. He accepts their condition. He tells Manju, "Your dad has accepted our relationship." Manju is very happy to hear this. She is happy, but he does not tell her about the condition of leaving the army. Meanwhile, Shurjan and Moyen are having a romantic moment when Moyen sees the owner of Pazi's medical shop hitting a child. She goes there and finds out that the child had stolen some medicines. She understands that he has measles, which is why he is very ill. Both of them take some medicines and go to drop the child to his village, where they find out that many children in that village have measles and various types of skin diseases. Moyen talks about taking all of them from there for their treatment. Then a girl named Fatima comes and tells them that they cannot go anywhere from here because this village is controlled by the mafia. The children here grow up and join gangs. Girls are sold to other countries, and today they are coming to take Fatima. Shurjan had asked his backup force to come here. In a short while, Argus reaches there with his gang. When Fatima is taken away, Shurjan does not let her go. Soon, Argus has to leave because soldiers arrive. Moyen takes Fatima and all those children to their medical. They bring them to the center for treatment. Shurjan comes to give a report to General Yi about Argus, but General Yi orders him to stay away from Argus' case because the U.S. Army is on a mission to capture Argus. That's why they have requested us not to interfere in Argus' case. So, Shurjan follows their orders. After checking patients, Moyen is sitting outside for a while. Then Shurjan brings coffee for her. Moyen's hair is open, so Shurjan gives her a tie. Some parcels had come for everyone. One of them is in De Yong's name. So Moyen tells him through the walkie-talkie that someone named Suji has sent a parcel for him. On hearing the name, Shurjan and De Yong start running to get the parcel, but before that, Manju comes and opens the parcel. There's a photo in it with two girls sitting with Shurjan and De Yong, and a note saying that it was their first meeting. Seeing this memory, both of them get very angry. When Shijun and De Young come, they teach them a lesson. De Young starts making excuses that it is his cousin, but his lie is caught. On asking Moyen, Shurjan tells her that after coming to Uruk, Deo introduced him to her. They met only once, nothing more. Here, someone had stolen narcotics medicines from their Medicube. They had checked that no one had come in from outside, and all the patients were there. Then Moyen understands that Fatima is missing, which means she had stolen the narcotics drugs. After informing the local police, Shurjan and Moyen go to find her. Fatima calls her boyfriend and tells him that they will sell these narcotics drugs and leave from there. But Fatima is unaware that her boyfriend has also joined Argus' gang and they are going to take her to Argus. Shurjan and Moyen reach there because Shurjan had found out about them through his local friend. Shurjan and Moyen save Fatima from them, and Moyen decides that she will help Fatima with her studies. Shurjan praises Moyen a lot for completing his exams so that he can improve his life. When the power goes out, both of them wear army night vision goggles and have dinner together. Here, Mr. Jinja was hiding from Argus. He was trying to escape from Uruk by changing his identity and making a fake passport, but he gets caught. In the meantime, Shurjan's army camp is informed that the police have taken Mr. Jin for interrogation. Shurjan and De Yong were talking about why Mr. Jin would have done this when a laborer comes and tells them that maybe he is doing all this because of diamonds. The laborer once saw Mr. Jin hiding diamonds. Now Shurjan knew that the police here work for Argus, so he took Mr. Jin to Argus, where Argus was going to kill him for not giving the diamonds. But then Shurjan and his team reach there and save Mr. Jin because they had orders from Argus. Shurjan tells him to leave from there. Mr. Jin was admitted here, but suddenly his condition starts getting worse. He starts having a lot of pain in his stomach because he had swallowed diamonds. When the doctor checks him, he finds out that there are diamonds in his stomach which will have to be removed through surgery, or else he will die. Along with Moan, Mangji also comes to help in the operation. But then they find out that Mr. Jin has a very dangerous virus inside him, so Moan quickly asks to quarantine the operation room. Both Youngji and Mohan had come in contact with Mr. Jin's blood, so they ask the rest to leave and start checking everyone outside. Upon knowing this, Shurjan and Daeung rush there, but ask Moan and Manju to stay outside until their test results come. After some time, at the medical center of the U.S. Army base, Shurjan and Daeung immediately bring all their blood samples for testing. After a few hours, they get the report and return to their camp. Daeung comes and hugs Manju because Manju's report came positive, which means Moyen is safe. Daeung is very worried about Manju. He is very sad, and Manju asks him to keep courage and go out. They talk through the walkie-talkie, and then suddenly, the light goes off at night, and Argus reaches Medicube with his gang. Knowing that he has to take back his diamonds and Fatima, Shurjan reaches Medicube with his soldiers and drives Argus away. But Argus learns that there has been a virus outbreak here. Manju's father calls him, and Manju requests him to let De Jong stay in the army because Meng had heard his father's words when he had asked De Jong to leave the army instead of accepting his relationship with Manju. Dad agrees to him and asks him to take care of himself. Manju's health was deteriorating. Manju's medicines were coming in a truck which Daniel was bringing, but the truck is hijacked by Argus men, and Shurjan and De Jong go looking for them. While they were there, Argus calls him and asks him to bring the diamonds in exchange for the medicines. Shurjan and De Jong reach there with the diamonds, free the truck from them, and then beat up Argus men and save those diamonds. Manju is given medicines, and her condition starts improving slowly. However, the police arrest Fatima and take her away for the crime of selling narcotic drugs because her boyfriend had confessed that Fatima had brought the drugs to sell. Moyen goes with them to testify for Fatima, but she did not know that these policemen work for Argus. The next morning, when Shurjan returns after giving the report to headquarters, he cannot find Moyen anywhere. Then a nurse tells him that Mohin had gone with the police last night because the police were arresting Fatima and taking her away. So Shurjan goes to find her. Suddenly, Shurjan sees Fatima in front of him. He stops her and starts coming towards her, then someone shoots Fatima in the leg. Argus comes in front of him with his gang, holding Moyen hostage. Argus tells Shurjan, "After my biggest weapon deal tonight, I have to leave this country because I know that the US Army is after me. It is your responsibility to get me out of this country safely by 2 o'clock tonight, otherwise, your girlfriend will not survive. You have to reach my address without showing any smartness." Saying this, Argus takes Moyen and leaves. Shurjan goes to headquarters to report to his chief, who is not giving him permission to go and save Moyen. Even the politicians of Korea try to stop him, but Shurjan says he will go alone, not listening to them. The chief tells his soldiers to stop Shurjan, but then General Lin calls Shurjan and tells him, "You have no time to kill him. There will be no time for Dr. Moyen to ring the safe. You will not be a Korean soldier during that time." So Shurjan uses the second card of the president of the Arab League, orders a helicopter for tonight, and sets out alone to rescue Mohan. As soon as Dayam comes to know about Mohan's kidnapping, he understands that Shurjan has gone alone to rescue him, so he prepares his alpha team to help him. Dayam tells Manju about this, gives her his locket, and leaves with the alpha team. On his mission, Shurjan reaches Argus's base while hiding and starts moving forward, killing his goons. At one place, he is about to get shot, but then Dayam and the Alpha team reach there, who kill the goons coming in front of them with a sniper from a distance. In a short while, Argus comes in front of Mohan with a gun to his ear. He had put a bomb jacket on Mohin, which had a detonator. Argus gets hold of the helicopter. Argus says, "First bring down the helicopter." De Jong sees through the sniper lens that the electrical wiring of the detonator is going through Moyen's shoulder. He tells this to Shurjan. Shurjan shoots Moyen's shoulder in such a way that the wiring breaks and Moyen doesn't get hurt much. Then the Alpha team kills Arkazan's team with bullets. Shurjan goes to Mon. De Jong checks the bomb, but even after the detonator is disconnected, the bomb is about to explode in just 1 minute. He carefully takes off the jacket and throws it out in time, causing the explosion to occur outside. But then Shurjan sees that Argus is about to shoot from behind, so he covers Mohan with his bulletproof jacket. After saving him, he shoots Argus, who is killed. Shurjan gives the report of mission completion to General Yoon. Other ministers get angry with him, but the president himself comes and praises General Yoon and Captain Shurjan. Manjo had recovered to a great extent and is very happy to see De Jong safe. Shurjan hands over Argus' body to the U.S. representative. It is time for Moyen and the rest of the doctor's team to go back, so they check all their patients for the last time and ask them to take care of themselves. Then she goes to meet Shurjan. Shurjan brings coffee for her. Moyen hugs him and tells him that after staying here for so long, she has understood that she loves Shurjan and wants to stay with him. But she puts a condition that next time, whenever Shurjan goes on a dangerous mission, he should inform Moyen directly or just tell her, "I am going to the mall." This way, she will understand because she doesn't want him to be unaware of her worries when he's on a dangerous mission. She wants to be happy with her friends and worry about him. Shurjin promises her, and then Shurjin and Moyen adopt Fatima with Shurjin's friend Valentino's help. Fatima promises Moyen that she will study well and become a doctor like him. It was time for the doctors to go back. Everyone takes group photos together, and the team of doctors returns to Korea, where they are welcomed at the hospital. Moyen leaves after giving her resignation to the hospital chairman, as she had said. She goes to take a loan from the bank to build her own hospital, but her application gets rejected because she had given her resignation. When she tells this to Shurjan, Shurjan says, "Are you crazy to take a loan? You should have left the job after that, right?" Moyen gets angry with him and goes back to the hospital. She tells the chairman, "I resigned in a hurry, but I can handle the work of the hospital's star doctor again." The chairman says, "I already knew it, but there is no need for that because you have been transferred to the emergency ward. If you want to work, you can start from there." Moyen returns to the emergency ward with her old doctor friends. In Uruk, Manju was completely cured and now had general permission, so her romantic life was going very well. Her duty in Uruk also ends with Sheen, and with Do, the Alpha team returns to Korea. They had not drunk for a long time, so a full boys' party starts, which Moon and Manju have to handle. After the vacation, they return to work, where this time they have to protect some VIPs. A secret meeting is going to take place between North Korea and South Korea. The responsibility of protecting those VIPs is on Shijun's team from South Korea, and Captain On has come from North Korea. After finishing the first day's shift, Shijun goes on a date with Moon in the evening. They enjoy their date like normal couples and return to duty the next day. As they are going up from the parking lot, the captain arrives. Soon after this, some people come in a van and start shooting at Captain Nan. Shurjin and his team try to save him, but Shurjin gets shot while trying to save Captain Nan. Backup forces arrive, and the attackers are caught. Both Shurjin and Captain Nan are taken to the hospital. Seeing Shurjin's condition, Moyen's condition worsens. She starts crying and quickly takes him to the ICU. Shurjin's heartbeat is not coming, but Moyen gives him CPR, which brings his heartbeat back. As soon as he regains consciousness, he first asks about Captain Nan. Both are taken to the operating room, and the bullets are removed from their bodies. Both are recovering. Shurjin wants to go and talk to Captain Nan, but Moyen does not let him move and threatens him to take strict rest. Soon after, Chief and Duong come to meet him. After their departure, Shurjin goes to meet Captain Nan and asks him why he was attacked. Since he is from North Korea, there are boxes in the whole room for security purposes. That is why Captain On, with the help of Shurjin Moon, he shifts him to a testing room where the captain tells him the truth that the minister for whose protection he had come to South Korea had betrayed his own country. Captain Nan had come to know about this, and that is why he wanted to kill him. Shurjan helps Captain Nan in exposing the minister. When Captain Nan is sent to the minister again orders Captain Nan to be shot. He thought that Captain Nan is dead. That is why he goes for his meeting without any fear. But the captain was not dead because Shurjan had sent him there wearing a bulletproof jacket with fake blood set in his dress. Even that sniper was caught by Shurjan earlier, and Shurjan had fired the bullet in his place. When the North Korean minister comes out, the North Korean agency catches him because Captain On had sent the details of his wrongdoings to the North Korean intelligence. In this way, Shurjan had saved Captain Nan for the second time, and then Shurjan goes back to his hospital room before Moyen comes to check on him. When Moyen comes to check on him at night, she stays there to take care of Shurjan. She is not able to sleep, so both of them sit together and watch the same movie they had seen before. They missed each other in the theater, and while watching the movie, they both fall asleep there. The next day, Shurjin gets discharged, and Moyen is taking him home in a wheelchair. Shurjin was listening to a song on his headphones for a long time. When Moyen checks the song, she finds out that Shurjin was listening to her confession. This embarrasses her again. She removes her hand from the chair, causing the wheelchair to go slightly downhill, and Shurjin falls from the wheelchair after hitting something. Moyen comes running and starts worrying more about the wheelchair. Shurjin says, "Your boyfriend is lying here, and you are worried about the wheelchair." Moyen says, "The money for the wheelchair was wasted in vain." Shurjin teases her and says, "Did you understand? You are more worried about money than me." Similarly, like normal couples, they keep meeting. Dayoung and Manju also spend good time together. One day, Shurjin meets Moyen's mother, and their relationship gets a green light. A few more days pass happily, but then one day, the Alpha team is called for a mission to Albania. General E asks Dayoung if he wants to go or not. Dayoung says that he will go with his team. General E tells him to return safely and then come to meet him along with Manju. They all had to leave at 9 p.m. tonight, so everyone goes to meet their families. Dayoung goes to meet Manju, and Shurjin calls Moyen to meet him and tells her, "I am going to school." Moyen understands that he is going on a mission and asks him for how long. Shurjin tells her that he is going for 3 months. Moyen gets sad. So he hugs her and says, "Don't worry, I will come back safely." Then the Alpha team leaves for Albania for their mission. After reaching there, Shurjin sends a message to Moyen. For a few days, he keeps on sending messages to Moyen. The conversation continues, and then Shurjin had automated a lot of messages because he could not use the phone in the coming days. Moyen gets happy just by seeing his messages, and months pass by in no time. Today, Shurjin and the team were about to return. Shurjin and Dayoung had come a little far while patrolling, but then Shurjin gets shot, and suddenly they are attacked. Their military helicopter was far away, and the enemy was coming closer to them. Dayoung could not leave them alone. Then there was a bomb in their direction, and the place exploded. After some time, when their teammates came to check here, they did not even find the bodies of both of them, so everyone else returned very sad. The entire army was sad to hear the news of Shurjin and Dayoung's death. When Moyen and Myungji come to know about them, both of them become very sad. Apart from Ronnie, both of them could not do anything. 1 month passes. Moyen and Myungji had now become friends, and they both talk a lot about Shijun and Dayoung. Myungji tells stories of their friendship to lighten her mind, but when she returns home, they both cry a lot remembering them again. Moyen used to message Shurjan on his number. She comes to Albania to do all her fieldwork. After finishing her work, she comes to the place where Shijun's last battle took place. She is still messaging on his number. She even brought an army walkie-talkie with her, through which she used to talk to Shurjan in Uruk. She keeps flowers in memory of Shurjan and remembers him by taking his name on the walkie-talkie. But then she gets a reply from Shurjan on the walkie-talkie. Hearing this, she gets shocked. At first, she thought that maybe she is missing him a lot, which is why she heard Shijun's voice. But then again, Shijun's voice comes on the walkie-talkie, asking her to turn back. Moyen checks her phone and sees that all the messages sent to Shurjan have been seen. She turns back and looks, then she sees Shurjan coming from the front. She could not believe her eyes. That is why she runs towards him, touches him, and looks at him. After confirming, she hugs him while crying. Meanwhile, Manju is on duty in the bus. Snowfall starts, and she comes out. Then she sees Dayoung coming from the front and hugs him while crying. They ask both of them where they were and how they survived that blast. They tell them that they survived the blast, but the enemy army kept them captive at a place for more than 150 days. They were tortured there, but the one who saved them was the North Korean captain, whose soldiers were also kept captive there. He came to free his soldiers. When he saw them, he saved them. Moyen gives first aid to Shijun and others. She could not believe that Shijun was in front of her, so she confirms with her volunteers and also talks to her friends on a video call, who get shocked to see Shijun. Then both of them return to Korea. After seeing Shijun and Dayo safe and sound, the General Chief Commander and the rest of the soldiers are very emotional. Both of them take leave and spend a lot of good time with their girlfriends. Then one day, the Red Velvet Idol group comes to perform at the army camp, where all the soldiers go into full fan mode, especially Shijun and Dayoung. The video of their performance is being streamed, and Moyen and Manju get very jealous seeing Shijun and Dayoung fanboying. Moyen becomes a star again and resumes her work as a doctor. When asked about her boyfriend, Moyen says she does not have any boyfriend, which she says to make Shijun jealous. Meanwhile, Monju and Daeong do not want to wait any longer and go straight to Monju's dad, telling him that they want to get married and ask Mr. Yoon to give them permission. Now, he is very proud of Daeong because he is such a great soldier. Meanwhile, Shurjin and Moyen also start living together. After a few days, both of them go to the same island of Uruk, from where Shurjin had taken the stone and said they would return. They put that stone back. They drink wine at night, see the stars in the sky, and promise to stay together forever. This drama has a happy ending with their beautiful kiss. Do tell us how you liked the drama by commenting. If you liked the video, like the video. If you're on the channel for the first time, do subscribe and hit the bell icon. See you soon with another romantic drama. Till then, take care and bye-bye.